exploding. It's everywhere.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's so cool. I had no idea that there was ever even the intention to take it that direction.
Nice.
But so have you ever seen that? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, no surprise. Evan doesn't understand a pop culture reference, but there's a very famous channel on YouTube. It's it's one of the classic like lo-fi streams. It's always live. You just kind of put it on the background sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's the one with the anime style girl at the desk with headphones on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So she just got a cartoon of her with like a little cat.
Yeah. So she's lo-fi girl. So like right now she's not sitting at the desk. And so there's a ton of like kind of story around like what happened. And there's been like little teasers being dropped lately about like what's her cat looking at when he looks out the window, and what's that blinking light that no one's ever paid attention to before. And it's really neat. But I had no clue until like 3 days ago that there was ever the intention. I didn't even really register that there was a human behind there, like constantly and obviously, right? Like what an idiot for not realizing there's a person running that whole thing. But it's just really cool. So obviously, it's if you look at Twitter, Lo-Fi Girl's been trending for like 3 days or something like that.
Okay, I'll check it out. Good now, revolutionaries. To everyone in the audience, I see we have some friends here on Twitter. We have some friends on YouTube. Alex and I was lamenting to him that I didn't have a song picked out. I wanted to have a fun youth culture kids song picked out. Today we're going to talk about the Founders Forge, and I just couldn't find anything. So Alex loves, as do I, the background music choices we have on StreamYard, and our favorite track is Night Driving. We're a couple of night driving maxis, so that's what you're getting. Whether you're listening morning, noon, or night, it's time to wake up and smell the crypto. This is the official morning show of the financial revolution. I'm so glad to be here with you, man. Alex, it's been a minute. We were saying since we did video and got to see each other. It's been a minute since we've been in the same space. So I'm glad to be back with you, brother. How you been?
Good. I'm glad that we are finally back with all of the pieces in place that we're supposed to have with the show. I feel like we were really getting into a good roll, and then like one thing fell off. One of us was busy, and then another one was busy, and whatever. And I don't even know how many weeks it's been since we've done all the pieces, but I'm very, very happy to be back in full swing here.
Absolutely, man. It was something being a part, and I appreciate you, especially last week when I really thought I was going to be more present, and I was just rugged by the Easter Bunny. So thank you for that, and thank you to Bill, who's just jumping up here now for holding down the fort. You guys are A1 class acts. Bill, how are you doing today, brother? Oh my gosh, do you know what I just did? Check this out.
I was gonna say,
I bet everyone in the space couldn't hear Alex until this very moment. Say something, Alex. Introduce yourself to the people. God bless David. God bless Neil, Lisa, everybody who's listening. I had my phone not even plugged in. Gosh, you guys, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. In a minute. Sorry, Bill. I rugged you, but my confidence there. Are you well?
It's all good. I'm feeling good. And that's got to be a space on Neil's Rise Up bingo card. So at least we've done that for him.
Yeah. So sorry, Bill.
We actually ought to play that sometime.
Yeah, spoiler alert, I looked into, we had talked about maybe doing some limited edition merch drops for POAP holders, etc. on the 50th episode, and I was looking into how to include printed bingo cards with like the other kind of things we might do. Wouldn't that be so great, just as like a fun little gimme gift? You get the coffee mug, you get the slippers, you get the robe, and you also get your very own set of Rise Up bingo cards. I think that would be just such a great little add-on for about 10 people in the world who know what we're talking about. That would be the ultimate gift.
Yeah, it's basically just Neil. But that would be, I could imagine it being like a calendar, where every Friday the Fridays page was the bingo card, and
that's such a good idea.
Dude, that would be cool.
I'm writing that down. That down.
As fast as we just thought of that, somehow Kaio just felt the disturbance in the force, and he's already creating a mock-up.
He's already done the art for it.
I can't believe how fast that dude makes mock-ups for designs on anything.
Yeah, he's a wunderkind. I don't know if he's what's the word for a wunderkind who's no longer a kind, like a wunder adult, a wunderman.
Yeah.
Wunderman. Yeah. Wundermensch. Okay, so shall we get into it? We got a lot to talk about today. We
Yep.
spent last week kind of talking about Shoup, teasing that. And
Yep.
as alluded to, we were going to talk this week about the other big news coming out of Faceless Labs,
Yep.
Founders Forge. I'm
Can
going to
I
go
just
ahead and
say, Evan, not to derail you, before you give us the intro,
derail it, brother. No, I was just going to preview it. Go for it.
I just wanted to say right now, one piece of feedback I've heard from some of the people close to us, and if I was to look at it, I would totally see like, it feels like there's really a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah, dude.
This may seem a little scattered. And I just wanted to provide one more piece of context as to why the rollout has come out this way, particularly with Shoup. It's because for many of you who are involved in the corrupted games and kind of the way that that is being built, it's very community feedback heavy. And we wanted Shoup to be similar because, quite simply, this is a thing for all of you. So it would be silly not to source feedback and information and data that we can then use to make it a better experience for everyone. So we wanted to get the initial like reveal and pre-brief out as quickly as possible so that it could exist. And then we can go back to business as usual with all of our other stuff while we then are able to keep the conversation going so that we have a better place to start. Because right now there are, I don't even know, Evan, how many ideas we have like jotted on our dream sheet for Shoup. And quite simply, you can't build every single feature that we would love. But so got to start somewhere with, what are the things that the people who are going to be the first to use this platform actually give a shit about? So as we move into Founders Forge and all that other stuff, I think it's good for us to have Shoup out there because eventually I want all of these things to have a place on Shoup. And so it'll help us make better, more informed decisions in terms of building it to know as much as we can.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I wasn't going to preview it anymore except to say that I will hunt for some tweets to pin at the top while you give folks the spiel about how they can claim their POAP today, which features a piece of collectible artwork previewing the future of Founders Forge. I almost said future founders, which I am wont to do. Founders Forge. It's the first piece of artwork minted on any blockchain anywhere, featuring the characters that will be part of the NFT collection, which is one small part of Founders Forge, which we'll tell you about in a minute. Alex, tell them how they can get this POAP today.
Yeah, so as is tradition, we offer a POAP with every single one of our shows. It stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol. It's basically just a cool way that you can memorialize on-chain forever the fact that you did a thing, and these things are cool. So you don't need an account, or rather you don't need a wallet to claim these. You just need a free account with the POAP platform. And all you have to do to claim it is to drop into our Discord, discord.gg/themany. Right up at the top, there's a channel called the Bot Hub, which has its very own big shiny POAP button. Hit that, and when prompted, you will enter the secret word, the first half of which Evan will give you here imminently, the second half of which will come at you also from Evan near the end of the show. Squish those two things together, and it'll give you a link, and there you go.
Thank you, my friend. Couldn't have said it better myself. The first part of the secret word is future, as in past, present, future. And I might regret this secret word. It might cause problems for me down the road, but you'll have to find out what the second part of it is in the second half of the show. We hope that you'll stay with us and listen. If you want to risk it and just set a timer, you could probably come back in about 50 minutes or catch the recording later. We won't begrudge you if you have to go, but we hope you'll stay. We hope you'll leave your questions. Well, Alex will. That's right. He will begrudge you and probably will absolutely die on that hill.
I will absolutely die on this hill.
But I think we got a sound for that.
I will absolutely die on this hill.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So if you got a question, if you got a comment, please feel free to raise your hand, come up, leave it in the YouTube stream, leave it in the comments in the bottom right of the Twitter space. And I've got the Future Founders pinned tweet that I'm about to throw at the top. You want to just dive right into it, man? Tell people what we're building and why they could get excited?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, man. Take it. I'm handing it to you.
Did my ears deceive me, or did you just call it Future Founders again?
God damn it. I am so sorry. It is Founders Forge. We really were playing with the name Future Founders. We really, really were.
For months. For like months. Literally since last summer.
We were talking to each other about it all the time.
Regularly.
I'm going to step in and say, anytime that you say it incorrectly, Evan, I'm going to hit that buzzer. And I'm going to also do the same to Neil, who likes to call it Show Me instead of Show Me.
Yeah.
Both of those are now Automatic buzzers.
And they're on the bingo card. We're adding it to the bingo card. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Founders Forge, Neil with the thumbs down. And we have Kaio, the artist for this project, in the audience. So Kaio, if you want to add any color commentary, my friend, please feel free to come up to the top. Alex, you want to dive right into it? I was really inspired yesterday when we were talking in the meeting by the some of the imagery that you were giving us, the flame imagery, the spark imagery. I hope you'll tell him some of that, because that was quite a yarn you were spinning.
Yeah, to be honest, that's just exactly what I was going to start with, and then I figured we can take it from there, and maybe it will inspire a question or a comment.
Love it.
So, the preamble to this is anyone who knows us and what we've done knows that we're very narrative focused. If there's not a compelling story, then it's pretty hard to figure out why you should care about something. And we have, it's just silly to have someone like Evan on your team and not tell dope stories, because that's what Evan was put on earth to do. So I've been thinking about how best to quickly describe Founders Forge and the overall idea to someone. And this is where I'm at. So the word forge was very specifically picked for this. So keep that in mind as I say this. The impetus for this is that we wanted to create an inspiring story, and the way that that's first going to be told to us is through a really, really cool children's book that Evan wrote. It's a fantastic story. It's extremely inspirational. It's not meant to, Evan, it's hard for me to describe the book, honestly. Like I've read it a couple times. I finally got the text out of you. So I read it again last night, and I think that's really the best word I can think of to describe it. It is an inspirational story that wants to motivate anyone and everyone to realize the potential that they have to do great things, as long as they give a shit about it, as long as they're passionate and follow that dream. So that's kind of what we want to inspire people to do. So the book is really the spark that we want to use to ignite this fire in our community here. We are also really excited to include, as part of the offerings here, the creation of a fund, a scholarship/grant fund that we're referring to as the Founders Fund right now. And the idea here being that as we inspire people to learn about these new emerging technologies and these new tools and things that are available, hopefully they'll take that inspiration and want to actually do something with it. And not everyone is going to have the means to follow that and do it. Maybe they don't own the computer that you would need to use to program this new tool that they are imagining, or use these AI things that we're teaching people about, or create a smart contract. They don't have the equipment for that. So they can apply to be the receiver of a small grant from this fund. And the approval process would be twofold. It'd be a community focused effort within community governance, and then there would be the team selections from all of us running the whole thing. And so that is the way that we want to fan the flame sparked by the book. So following that up with the NFT collection that comes along with this, that's going to accomplish a couple goals. One, whatever we end up creating after this, which is what I'll get to last, is not going to be the cheapest, easiest thing ever. These are things that require builders to be hired, tools to be created. There are open source tools we can use some of, but we're going to have to do a lot of building to make this happen. And this is sort of something that I'm extremely excited about. So the NFT collection will help get people involved in the realization of that. Will help set up this scholarship and grant fund. And then it will also serve as a tool to teach people about tokenized property, how blockchain, NFTs, and all of that stuff works, which is a piece of the education we want to spread out into the world through the Founders Forge. And so that NFT collection that's the embers. That's how the blaze spreads. You're able to transfer that ownership to new people that you want to feel inspired to join the collection, to join the community, to join the fund efforts, to become mentors to the people who apply for funding and all that sort of stuff. So I'm extremely excited.
Me too, man. Me too, man. I think anybody listening to this, if you're unfamiliar with us, the first thing to know is we love a great story. And a great story is one that may be individual, but which has a message that is universal. It could be a cat with one eye who goes on a trip to whatever. You're not a cat. You don't have one eye. Maybe you do. I don't know. But you see yourself in that character, which you thought you were nothing like. And that prompts you to say, yes, we are the same. It builds bridges between separate people's experiences. And so we are always interested in how can we tell a story that resonates with as many people as possible, and which goes back to our mission to lead the financial revolution and empower the faceless many. We're always saying that is the goal of all of this. And to do that, we got to get people on board with that. We got to tell a story that they can see themselves in. So the story in this case is it's a literal story. We hope to really build a big flame with it. I'm so excited. This is the first, I've written lots of stuff in my life, and this is the first children's book that I have ever, written, completed from start to finish. I started a book one time called The Tickliest Pickle. That was a collaboration with a friend's autistic son, and that didn't go anywhere. Maybe one day we'll revive it, but this one, we're going to start talking more about it. Kaio is helping illustrate it. I'm going to start reading it in about 3 weeks. The goal is to get it on the bestseller list, not because I want to pump my own ego, but because this is a story that every child, every person can see themselves in. It's about the hero inside all of us, the hero inside you that cannot be beat, that is calling for you to rise up. And you don't need to know a darn thing about NFTs to appreciate and enjoy this story. And I would go so far as to say you don't need to be a kid to enjoy this story. It's a story for the children we once were and the adults they grew up to be. So hopefully it casts a wide net. It's something that people can share. But Founders Forge specifically hopes to inspire and educate kids, people who love them, to learn about future technology, the technology that's going to shape our lives in a way that's not just fun, that's not just fluffy, but that leads them to actionable steps to start incorporating this stuff, that encourages them not to be afraid of it, and invites them through, like you said, the funding, a community to start using it. Someone asked us, is this just an NFT project? No, like everything, we're maxis for Web3 tech, but I hope we're not blind about it. We want to use NFTs in this capacity as one way to give one group of people the opportunity to participate in this, to own their part of the story, and then invite others into the joy of this technology. But this is first and foremost an initiative to further our mission to empower the faceless many, specifically young people, the many who've yet to join us in Web 2 and Web 3 through inspirational stories, through fun, engaging educational content. And NFTs, we can maybe get into some of the NFTs and how we've packaged art into that to kind of build and enhance the story to help kids see themselves in this story. But I just wanted to get that out of the way, that this is not an NFT project that, like anything we do, that is going to live and die by an NFT. It really is a vision about this group of people who is not being served with the education system we find ourselves in now, and starts with that story in both camps. Yeah.
Maybe we can pin. I'm pretty proud of it. I put up a rather lengthy tweet that I think kind of helps paint what we're trying to achieve here.
Your account, Alex, or are you talking about the future found?
No, it's for my personal one.
Okay, I got you.
Thank you, Bill. The really long one. This is something that, personally for some time, and I talked to Evan about this a lot, I've felt pretty disenfranchised by the Web3 space, just because I don't see a lot of the ideals that I enjoy, the things that brought me to it, very prominently displayed here. Mm-hmm. And that's a really big bummer. So our multi-pronged attack on that idea, that phenomenon that exists in the Web3 space, starts with this book, because like Evan said, it is a purely inspirational story. It's meant to gas you up. And there's just not enough of that right now. There's a tremendous amount of anger and vitriol and division, and the things that inspire us to engage online are pretty much doing that exclusively from a rage point of view. And so I feel very strongly that it's time for people to take a breather and remember that we're set up to do some pretty epic shit in our lives. And so hopefully this will remind us that we need to kind of reset and think about what's actually important. and then actually make that a reality. So that's the first prong. And then the second prong is really just that I know so many people, because I am one of these people and I talk to these people often, that is really genuinely here because the tech has some really, really big potential and huge implications on the future of our lives online as they get more digital. And there's not a lot of tokens and projects out there for those people to be able to have and use and experience the tech with, that they can feel proud of, that they can very easily display to someone very skeptical and critical of the industry and say, well, this is a really cool example of how this stuff can be used for good. So check this out. So that's really the big impetus for including a collection here. And plus, there's just way more you can do in terms of like personal online data sovereignty and privacy, using a token rather than exclusively collecting everyone's personal information for everything. And in addition to the collections we already have that we run and maintain, we want to include more blockchains because that's a big pain point that we hear from people.
Yeah, that's right. This is an Ethereum. The collection for this is going to launch on the Ethereum blockchain, in part because that's where a lot of attention is for people who are in our space and for people who are not in our space, who are going to be buying their first NFT with a credit card or something like that. It's important for us to reach those people. Again, the many who've yet to join us. We need to meet them where they're at.
Yep. Well, that was the biggest piece of feedback that we got last year when we went to, I don't even remember how many conferences. I think I went to at least 7. Was that, oh, cool, you guys are doing this, that, and this. I'm down with that mission. That sounds really cool. Where can I find out more? And, it's like, oh, we're on Multiverse X or Ben Elrond or whatever. And they're like, what? And that was where we lost everyone. I can comfortably say that everyone we spoke to, that's where we lost them. And we heard from multiple potential clients on the consulting side that, oh, well, hey, hit me up when you guys put something on Ethereum. And there's a whole lot of reasons that we chose Multiverse X that I stand by to this day about how cool that tech is and how passionate and dedicated the community is and how nice it is to be able to, own a raw token rather than participate in a smart contract. I can't see the Twitter space right now. I don't know if Dave's here, but he has a great thread that pretty recently that illustrates that, which is very interesting. Definitely worth.
I'll pin it up for folks. Absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't. Dave, if you're there, I can't see you.
No,
right
he's
now,
not there. He's wrapping up another space that I just came from that I would direct people to. If you follow our friend DB Crypto, who I'll pin at the top, he helped organize a space of a lot of cross-chain founders from Polygon, from Solana, from Multiverse X, from ETH. And it was just a great illustration of what we're talking about here. We are not abandoning anything. We're not jumping ship. We believe the future is multi-chain. We're not maxis. And we want to take advantage of all the different, not just infrastructural things that each community blockchain has, but the community. I don't know if you want to touch on this at all, but we've talked about, just as a quick aside, the growing of the syndicate games and the corrupted, and how can we include other communities who are excited about blockchain gaming, but they're not on Multiverse X. We talked about Wax, we talked about ICP. I know you're thinking about that constantly, that we want to expand that game so that whatever blockchain you're on, or if you're not on the blockchain, you can participate in that and then get on a chain and get the benefits. So
exactly.
We're all about that.
Yeah. I mean, people who are familiar with the corrupted and the syndicate games hear me talk about this endlessly ad nauseum, which is I'm always chasing the best UX possible. And right now I'm very aware that it's not great. And so, that's kind of another part of the inspiration for us to explore other things. But I mean, I've wanted to have things on multiple chains forever, because I mean, what kind of an educator are you? What kind of a consultant are you trying to bring people to the space if you only exist in one tiny niche of a tiny niche?
And it makes us so much better too, in terms of just our knowledge gaps. I'm so excited about getting to launch a contract of this magnitude on ETH. And then, somewhere else. I think that's going to make us deadly in terms of how helpful we can be to other founders, to other community members, to businesses that are coming in. I'm bullish, very bullish on that.
I mean, I totally foresee a future, down the line where there are, ways that you can own tokenized assets in and around our ecosystem on pretty much any chain you're interested in. And I would like to think that we'll have continued to evolve bridge technology by that point to where it's pretty easily to seamlessly send those things to friends of yours that exist on other chains, or maybe are big fans of Solana or have their community over there, and you want to be able to interact with them. And we're starting to see more of that. So I would love to be part of the engine that drives us to a multi-chain future. Hence
absolutely.
The integration of Ethereum here.
So one of the things that I think we should talk about as we look to this is the schedule. Like, when can people expect updates? What are we going to talk about when? So maybe at a very high level, let's just say we just announced Founders Forge this last week. And so this week and next week, especially next week, we're going to be real intentional about introducing ourselves, building our following other people, connecting folks. Please feel free to introduce us to anyone that you think would be a good fit for this mission to help us partner with. We're very open to that. And then we're going to start talking about the book. I plan to go as many places as possible and read this book to Web3 communities, to Web2 communities, educators. If you are an educator, if you are a parent, if you host a space and you want a great 3.5 minute read about a story that's just going to hype people up and get them excited to be building the future, please, I promise you I will be a good steward of your attention. And we're going to start doing live streams with Kaio to showcase his artwork. We've got the Instagram page up. We've got our TikTok pages, his TikTok page. He's already posting stuff there at Kaio Madao. And he needs some more followers to go live.
Need to see that kind of stuff. I mean, we need to get his account to 1,000 followers on TikTok so that he can live stream those drawing processes. But I'm blown away by what he's creating there. And this is from a dude who's going to tell you to your face with a straight face that he doesn't consider himself.
Man, I'm not that good, man. Or whatever he would say. He's so humble.
Yeah, he'll sit there and tell you that he's not a great artist, which just makes me laugh every time I hear him say it because it's phenomenal. Yeah. But I mean, he's putting some really interesting stats in the artwork that he's creating for these Forge characters that are like tens of thousands of brushstrokes per character, per like asset per character, and how many hours he has so far in the creation and the brainstorming of this. I'm really excited to post like an evolutionary chart of Kaio's work, which we'll release at some point. He put one together for us the other day, just like where he's come in the last year that we've been talking. It's amazing.
So watch for that. We're going to have live streams with Kaio where people can maybe give feedback and help us enhance some of the pieces that are going to be in the NFT collection.
And
we want to get... And just a sneak peek and to get young artists in there, because Kaio is, with his helpful spirit, is the kind of guy who could give tips, instruction, that kind of stuff for somebody who wants to do the kind of thing we're doing. So watch for that. And then in about 3 weeks, I am so excited for this. We are going to launch a new space. We're going to do it weekly. And I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but this is an idea I had before I got into crypto. I was trying to figure out how I could have a creative outlet, talk to people, share stories, build a platform. And, my mother and my sister know that I love young people and am kind of a big kid myself. They said, "Oh, Evan, you should do like a podcast or something where you read bedtime books." And I was like, you know what? I was like, everybody does that already. I don't have a great reading voice. I didn't feel like I did. And I just didn't think, you got to have a platform. You got to be LeVar Burton. I was like, no, I said, but what would be really cool would be if we could give kids a place where they could say and be and do anything, and where they didn't have to earn an adult's attention. So at that time, I conceived of a show called Conversations with Kids. It'd be like Mr. Rogers meets Jimmy Fallon, and all about the kids who appeared on the show. And I started the work to launch the podcast. Just didn't pan out. I didn't know enough about, producing that kind of show by myself. I'd been talent on air before, but I'd never been behind the scenes. And so as we were working on this, I said to the guys, we're talking about how are we going to put this content out? How are we going to send our kids? I was like, guys, we can do Conversations with Kids. And I am so stoked about it. It's going to be easy for us to use our platform to bring on young people and the young at heart people who support them. We'll have someone like Rainbow Mosho, who's an NFT NYC right now doing great art in Times Square. We'll have someone like my friend Christopher Lyons, who is an NFT creator who wants to be an astronaut and has been to space camp. We'll have folks like my friend Anna Skates, who's worth a follow, who's building Kid3, the conference for Web3 kids and the adults who love them. And all of it will be about what they want. Like, it is so rare in our world that kids get that kind of attention from an adult, even though their ideas, their contributions, their feelings, they're just as valid and just as brilliant, sometimes more than us. So watch for that, conversations with kids. And then what else have we got coming up? We're gonna launch one of the grants. I think in the week after that, we're gonna do our first grant to a kid partner, we hope. Yep. Leading up to the mint, and we might not stop. I think we've talked about trying to do something like that every week ahead of our first mint, and then we'll finish the book. We'll launch the book. All of this is happening this summer.
Yeah,
I've said just a lot right there.
And at the same time, there's some neat stuff coming just on the corrupted and the TFM side as well.
Yeah.
I don't want to divert us too hard from today's show topic, but I do want to touch on some TFM stuff really quick, Evan.
Let's do it. And actually, I think we should divert in a minute because some people might have questions. And Neil brought up a great point about something unrelated that I kind of want to get to. So I say go for it, and then let's put a bow in it, maybe.
Okay. This is really quick. So if you're in the TFM community and you're a TFM holder, you know that the minis are live and running, and we're going to be closing that mint up pretty soon here.
Oh, yeah.
So if you haven't claimed your minis yet, please do so. It's a free mint for any TFM holder. It is in the Discord. There is no gas. There's no wallet connection. There's no confirmation. There's no transaction request. There's nothing. It's literally like click button, get NFT. It's very cool. Willem built it, and he's phenomenal. And it's working. It's an awesome minting experience. So head over in our Discord. There's a channel called Mini Mint. There's links to it everywhere in the FAQ, in the announcements, in the weekly update, all that stuff. So be sure to go do that because I'm probably going to shut the mint down like midnight on Monday, my time. So just end of Monday. And then we are currently working with the council within the TFM holder community to figure out what to do with the rest, because there's about 3,000 minis that were created for this. We wanted to have more than enough so that everyone could get them. And they've had some pretty cool ideas with what to do with those things, ranging all the way from rev points mints in the marketplace to claim some extra ones. There's a pretty cool idea that one of our holders, Dirk, who's famous in the TFM community, suggested that I really like, which was to reward people who enter the TFM community by gifting them with a mini. So you buy a TFM on secondary markets, and the community will gift you with a random mini from the stockpile, which I think is a pretty sweet idea.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any opinions on that and you are a holder, please make your voice known, because those conversations are happening right now and there is no rush. I want everyone to make sure they have a chance to share their opinions. Lastly, on the corrupted side of things, season 5 is underway. If you're not playing in season 5, please jump in there. We're having a few technical difficulties with some new game mechanics that were introduced during the last sandbox. So it's kind of thrown a few things out of whack. So we're kind of live troubleshooting some stuff. I think we're going to extend the season by a week to account for some missed fights, an exploit that was possible with some of the fights that led to some skewed scores. And I think some people got thrown off and missed some stuff, and matchmaking was broken. And anyway, it's a live game under development actively. So I feel pretty good. This is the first time we've had like a real technical difficulty, but please stay tuned for announcements there. I'll have all of that information out as soon as we've decided on and fixed any live issues and done all that good stuff. So big stuff coming for both of those. And then the last thing I'm going to say is that Evan can attest to this. In every meeting that I have with what we move Faceless Labs towards in the future, I am always trying to think of how can the rev point be integrated into this. So if you are a rev points holder, you have a voice here.
Yeah.
Please make it known with opinions, suggestions. I want to add, that's my mission, is to add at least 3 to 5 new things, unique things that you can do with a rev point this year. I want to explore subscription models, services, and stuff that we can offer to you that you can subscribe to in rev points. We're actually talking about offering consulting services for rather significant amounts of rev points to help kind of spread this to, take on some new clients. And our very first client who's going to be paying in rev points is already up and running. Many of you know Brendan from the Hybrids, so very excited about that.
Very cool.
Brendan's been a committed TFM member since the beginning and has been inspired to create his own ecosystem of decentralized comics and storytelling himself. with customizable character creation, all that really cool stuff. Not following the Hybrids, which is another Multiverse X collection. That's one of the first big TFM byproducts. We launched him out of the marketplace, and he's been building ever since. He's pretty much a one-man show, and he's killing it. So definitely check him out.
Yeah, great storytelling.
Oh yeah, and the art's really cool, and he is super involved with his community. He's been crushing it, and he's amazing because he's never actually run a for-profit mint. He's done all of this. He's bootstrapping the whole thing by himself without having sold anything. He sold the first wave of scouts in the marketplace for rev points to the TFM community as a gift. So pretty cool, worth a follow. So more of that rev point stuff and more rev point utility coming, and please feel free to hit me with any ideas you have.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about this for future founders. For Founders Forge. Thank you, Bill. May I have another? Golly. But the vision for beyond the expansion of the story, the releasing of a book, the building of a community, the distribution of NFTs, scholarships, grants, is going to be that we would have educational content platform that people can in different ways experience, and rev points would obviously be a huge part of that, whether it's to access materials and resources, classes, if it is a formal sort of platform. We've got a couple partnerships that we can't talk more about yet that could enhance our work on Shoup and Founders Forge, in terms of bringing educators in, bringing builders in, and then setting it free to the Faceless Many to be the people who get to really reap the first rewards of it and share it with others. I think is going to be so exciting.
The key thing to remember here is that, thank you.
Oh, I thought that was Bill clapping. It's just a dog flapping.
It was a dog clapping. Is that this is all connected. Every piece of this is a deliberately placed cog in the overall machine that is our ecosystem, and I'm really excited to watch. I can't give it a few years and just look at the overall ecosystem that's churning with all these different pieces. I'm really excited for. And
that's a good time to plug that if you are listening to this space, you're probably following Faceless Labs, but if you're confused about how these pieces fit together, I don't blame you. It's a lot. And we're working always to tell a better story. So please feel free to either reach out to us through Faceless Labs. You can reach out to Alex, to myself, to any of the folks in this room watching this show. They're part of our community, and they would love to help you get up to speed. We have a Discord that we maintain for the Faceless Many, the NFTs, but also more specifically our community. That's the community of people we cultivate. But we're very approachable. We want to help you get involved. Whether you're interested in gaming, whether you're interested in education, you have an idea that you want to build, you need support, or you just want to come and hang out with people who aren't talking about Win Moon, Win Lambo. We have a really great community, and all that's missing is you. So 100%. Get at us.
Yep.
Alex, can I, do you think I want to get your wrap up and final words on Founders Forge. But then our friend Neil has joined us on the stage. Thank you. God, the stakes were so high. I'm scared of that buzzer. So, do you have a final call to action or thought? And then we can kick it over and introduce Neil's topic here.
I just want to remind everyone that if the only thing you can do to contribute and help, and this is something you care about, is engage, that is incredibly valuable. Through some recent insights into how the Twitter algorithm works, it turns out that just liking a post is the single most valuable thing that you can do. So we would appreciate, and we do appreciate, everyone who follows us along and helps us by, engaging, liking, commenting, giving feedback. We're easy to reach. So that's really all I got.
Neil, do you want to tell him, or do you want me to, about the new algorithm and how effective it is to like a post?
Already changed, because I just read that like a week ago.
Yeah, Alex, you're wrong. So I can, I'll show you a thread. Some developer coder nerd, since Elon actually released the open source code of Twitter.
Nope.
The most effective way to, I don't know, increase your engagement is to reply to a reply. So if you tweet something out and someone says, whatever, awesome, I think it's 75x.
75x.
Increased engagement. increased engagement if you reply to their reply.
Interesting.
Yeah, likes are 0.5x. They're like the lowest on the totem pole.
That's how did that change, or was that misreported?
No, that changed just recently since the code got open sourced, and it also follows the recent Twitter algorithm update, which took place today.
Yeah, and in fact, Alex, one of our favorite creators, Chris Castanova, I Create Life, did a summary on it too. Just I think yesterday with all the little 75x, 14x, whatever x. I'm interested to see how that works, and not too optimistic, but
That's what happens when see, this is why we need better tech education, because no one can keep up with this kind of stuff. And Jesus. Well, hey, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Appreciate the help.
Neil's always keeping us on our toes, and none more effectively than with some of the news that you brought in this comment. I want to ask you, if you would, I've pinned it to the top, to just share your thoughts here, because I don't know that Alex has seen this or everyone in our audience has seen it. What are you bullish on? What are you bearish on?
So,
what are you thinking, Neil?
I'm extremely bullish on Founder Shoup. Sounds like a fantastic project.
Founder Shoup. Founder Show Me? You mean future Founder Show Me?
Yes. Thank you. I'm actually, and I don't want this to be an AI discussion. I just threw that in randomly just to stir up the pot a little bit.
Well, you're not going to get away from it, man, because there are some questions I have for you. So go ahead.
So I'm bearish on ChatGPT as it stands right now, specifically ChatGPT 4. The reason why I'm bearish on it is because there are plenty of other platforms that are scraping ChatGPT for absolutely free and doing things that ChatGPT 4 cannot do right now. From a user interface basis, ChatGPT does not have an app right now. And I sent this to Alex as well, but POE GPT, POE GPT is insane. You can create your own chatbots for yourself. I created a chatbot muse, so to help me with my AI art and prompting and thinking of ideas. It's prompting me, I give it a very loose description of what I'm trying to do, and it spits out 12 ideas, and then I can say I like bullet points 3 and 5. Create me some prompts for that. It's completely free to sign up, completely free to use. You do get access to ChatGPT. You also get access to Sage, which is another AI assistant, if that's what we're calling them nowadays. You also get access to Claude, which is another one. And then you can just go ahead and create your own.
And this is with Poe?
So this is all within Poe and all on your phone. They do have a web version as well, but you essentially have AI on your phone now.
Okay, hang on. What's Poe's address? How do I go to Poe?
I don't know. Just look up, just Google Poe AI. Google it, and it'll pop right up.
We are at the top of the world. We are at the front of the crowd, and here you are just bringing this in and making me feel like I'm a total Luddite. I don't know anything, man. I feel so behind.
I will just point out, for the sake of conversation, Neil, that you started this by saying that you're bearish on ChatGPT and GPT-4, and you're more bullish on the stuff that's scraping the thing you're bearish on and using that AI or that API to create better experiences.
Yep, that's exactly what I said, and I absolutely meant it.
Well, that's an interesting hot take.
Yeah. The other thing that and this shit is brand new. It's called Auto GPT.
Yeah.
The demonstrations that I've seen with this, and it's part of my homework to do.
Mine too.
This weekend. You can essentially say, "This is what I want to do. Here is my goal. Go do it." And what the interface will do, the interface will essentially create a bunch of individual chatbots and do the work for you. to reach your goal, and then basically coalesce all of that information and resources that those individual chatbots have done.
And Neil,
It's pretty nutty.
I have been seeing this, and I, like you, have to do my homework because I haven't got into it yet. And I honestly think I'm misunderstanding how it works, because I'm seeing different people post. I'm pinning some of it up to the top. If you're on Twitter, if you're watching on YouTube, you can get these links at Twitter afterwards. I'll try and bump them here too. But I see people ordering coffee at Starbucks, performing market analysis, finding and negotiating a lease. Can you speak more from this point, or do you need to do more research to tell us how it is that the agents are doing that without further prompting? Like, how do you guide it, direct it, keep it from getting off the rails? I find that even with GPT 3.5, 4, I have to do a lot of checking and a little reminding. And I think I'm pretty good at writing prompts to help make sure it understands what my objective is as we move forward. So what are you seeing there? How does it work? Speechless.
Crickets.
Neil might have rugged. I know he's driving home from the gym.
So I will jump in while we're waiting for Neil here.
Please do. And please, as Alex is jumping in, I remind everyone to jump in. I see Deborah's raised her hand to come up. DB's just entered the space. I see a lot of friends here. Homer, Jower. If you guys want to say something, if you got news or insight on this, we'd love to hear from you. So Alex, where are you going with this, man?
Just that I will immediately acquiesce and concede that GPT-4 requires conversation to get good results. It's extremely difficult, even if you are copy and pasting professionally engineered prompts straight out of the OpenAI Discord, and prompting GPT-4 directly with that to get the result you're looking for there. The magic from GPT-4, in my experience, comes from having lengthy conversations with it and then having it be able to store all of that and then do stuff with it. So like, I've been making some videos lately about like my virtual assistants that are all GPT-4 threads. And that's why Neil sent Poe to me, because that's an easier way to do what I've been doing. So stoked to look into that and maybe make more efficient, update my resources and stuff like that. But those are really only good because I have literally months of me going back and forth with it and fine tuning stuff. Like, I'm at the point now where I can tell my content advisor thread something as simple as, hey, I need a TikTok really quick. Here's the topic I'm looking to do one about. I just say, hey, I need a 60-second TikTok about blah. And then it will do one. And it has so many of my scripts uploaded and so much of my feedback uploaded and so many of my advice and questions and blah, 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 and outlines and et cetera, all this stuff I've given it, that it's like, okay, cool. And it will spit out something really good. But if I was just like from scratch, write me a 60-second TikTok explaining the benefits of AI over blah, it's not going to be great.
Doesn't sound like you. Yeah.
It won't be in your voice. It will be very like clickbaity. I've noticed that it like advertises itself a lot. Like I was trying to get it to kind of spin a story about how I'm working with ChatGPT to do X, Y, and Z. And it was basically just like, through the magic of AI and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, tone it down a little bit. All right, stop tooting your own horn quite so hard. But that's where the magic of GPT-4 comes out, is through conversation. So it is not as easy as just, writing one good prompt and getting a really good generation.
3 things. Number 1, Bill, get your buzzer ready. Because the second part of the secret word is founders. Put that together with the first part of the secret word, and you can claim a POAP right now featuring Founders Forge first minted artwork. Don't buzz me there. I said it right. Founders Forge first ever minted artwork. Thank you, Bill.
I get a little happy on that.
It's okay, man. It's okay. The second and third things are, if Neil is back with us, Neil, I'd love for you to finish your thought. You kind of got rugged there as you were telling us about Auto GPT. I asked you how it works, how it stays on track. And then we're going to go to Deborah, because Deborah's been listening to the conversation and always has something great to share. So Neil, are you with us, my friend? It was good knowing him. It was real good knowing him. Neil, if you can hear me, I love you, man. I will never, ever stop being a Neil Maxey. I'm very bullish on Neil. I appreciate you for sharing.
Speaking about being a Neil Maxey, real quick.
Let's plug him.
Yeah, if you guys aren't following Neil, he's dropping the next piece of his of his personal like art collection
Shoot.
this evening. And if you saw the first one, I'm a proud holder. And the reason I can say I'm not, shilling my bags is because you're not getting that one off of me. And this one I'm really excited about because it's demons and devils and
Devil's Drop
and evil things. And I mean, all you need to do is follow Neil and go look at his most recent tweets, and you'll see it. Really, really, really cool stuff.
Yeah,
he is a prompt wizard.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, you guys, my turn.
It is. I was just about to say, okay, Deborah, please tell us. Thank you for being here with us today. How are you?
You're welcome. I'm pretty good. A couple of things.
Yeah.
I'm going to be all over the map, so take notes.
Okay, hang on. I got my pen.
Stop doing that buzzer. It is really annoying.
Bill, she's going to kick your butt.
And that one, too.
You're just encouraging him. You can't stop it.
Seriously, you got to stop that, Evan.
It's not me. It's my friend Bill.
You.
He's the sound.
Every time you do that, you lose a point.
I got you. Okay. Okay. What's number two?
Okay. Number 2 is I agree with you. Neil is out of sight. He really is. His art is off the charts. He goes all the way from gothic horror all the way up to magnificent. Okay, with all his artwork. Okay. Number 3. I just signed into Poe. I didn't even know about it. I'm in there already. It's unbelievable. It really is. And the index on the left-hand side gives you, I don't even know what these platforms are. A couple of them I've heard of, but Sage, GPT-4, Claude Plus, whoever the heck is Claude, Claude Instant. And apparently with that, you only have 3 chances to send a message. And then Chat GPT and then Dragonfly.
Dragonfly.
And then, right. I don't know who the heck that is.
No.
Okay. And then you can create a bot to do a search for you. It's incredible. And then when you go to the right, next to the index where, you do all your typing, you're in Claude Plus. I am. Okay. Let me get out of that. Let me get into Chat GPT-4. And at the top, it says, due to limited data. And then under this, try asking me about. And you have categories that are given to you to start with, and just in case you can't get your brain in gear, I guess.
Sure.
No, seriously, it's writing help, coding help, cooking, definitions and meanings, summaries. I mean, it gives you all of that stuff without having to pick up the left-hand side and the index, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
Actually. Okay, I'm in GPT-4, and down in the bottom where you would type in your message, there's a little yellow, message that says little top at the top, 1 left. So apparently you have limitations depending on maybe what your, membership is, or, if you use certain messaging things. So anyway, it is pretty cool. I already set up my profile.
Wow.
I'm in there. It's very, very cool. It's very
fast.
I did it in under 5 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah. Just wanted to, I know that's unbelievable. Just wanted to let you know. And when Neil comes back on, he can say, Deborah, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay? But anyway, or he could agree with everything I just said. So, and here's the final and last thing, and I'm using this, and I shouldn't be, but I have some issues I want to talk with you about setting up my wallet.
Oh, okay.
Discord. I mean, and I want to go through you because I have specific questions, and I don't want to do it through help in Discord. Not only in Discord, but some issues that happen outside that I'm a little concerned with. Okay.
Sure.
So DM me. Okay.
You got it.
I'm into speaking with you telephonically. Okay, because to a certain extent, some of what I want to explain to you is extensive in that if I have to text, or if I have to do something on my phone where I'm texting, I'm going to go nuts.
I see. Okay. Well, we'll get you set up. It's
DM me. Okay. You know how you can DM me. Right?
I know how to reach you. You got it. Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that's all I have to say. And thank you. This is really a good space. It's okay.
We love having you. We love doing this space. It's our way to unwind and catch people up on what we're doing, what others are doing. Even if they didn't pay us the big bucks, and spoiler alert, they don't. we'd still
They
be
sure
here.
don't. They should.
I know, but
They
it's
do
so
not.
darn fun. You don't care. Hi,
That's right.
Alex. Before I hang up, I want to say hi to Alex. Okay. So, okay.
Hello, my
Adios, you guys.
Have a great weekend, Deborah. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks,
And we've
Deborah.
also got our friend Lisa here, one of my very favorite people who's been with us since the beginning. Lisa, are you getting the heat that we have in Memphis? Are you doing well? How's things going?
I'm doing great. Yes, we are getting the heat. And I'm back in Little Rock today, and looking at the devastation. It's just every time I see it, it's just crazy to me. The TV does not do it justice.
Yeah.
So I have a couple questions. First off, I don't know if you were on Benjamin's space yesterday.
I was not. I saw that Benjamin did a space.
Okay. So
and for anybody listening who doesn't know, this is Benjamin Minku. He is the founder and CEO of Multiverse X Blockchain. Please continue.
Yeah. Okay. So he brought up a really interesting point, and I already texted this to Neil, but let's see if you can, if it might be something that maybe the future Founders Forge or
it's contagious
or Shoup would want to implement.
Okay.
So here's what he said. He says, with AI and the advancement of AI, and we have all these deep fakes and everything, we might be able to use blockchain to authenticate what's real and what's fake. So kind of like a soul-bound token.
Sure, or a verified credential even.
Exactly. And since you are focusing on more children's based things, instead of me having to send my info to all these different platforms like Twitter and Spatial, whatever, it would be nice to incorporate that technology to not have to every time re-verify who the hell I am. And it would protect a lot of privacy. So I didn't know if you caught that little part of it, but I just really think that it would be cool to integrate that in some form, way, or fashion.
I think so too. I did not catch that, so I'll look for it. It was the space from yesterday. I'm sure it's on Benjamin's profile. Yeah. And they're building a solution like that, a verified credential or a soulbound token, or
no. What he said was, because of AI and deep fakes, at some point blockchain may be able to help identify that. And so I'm sitting here thinking, well, nobody's built that, so we're building something.
There are definitely solutions that many people, so one of them is Coinbase's layer 2 base, which is going to make it easy for any website anywhere to use wallet login, token login, connectability, and become a Web3 website, which Starbucks and Visa and MasterCard and whoever, Spatial and Twitter can use, so that you and I, when we have a credential or a soulbound token, can log in with it, and they, without having to build anything else, can verify us. But I think definitely on Shoup especially, we're interested in how can we help people get those kind of credentials, or a verified agent that can do the job of, if they are anonymous, even verifying who they are, that kind of thing. That's a good suggestion. I know Alex has to go in just a second. Did you have another question or another thought, Lisa? Because that's a pretty deep one. I could chew on that for a long time.
Yeah,
I do want to have
that was just it.
Sweet.
I love
and
it.
I was like, so when we're thinking about this, if I want to, so I know Jar has younger kids, and I want, and if we're going to do a Founders Forge NFT, and I send it to them or gift it to them, that automatically just provides them with the credentials for Shoup.
Yeah, I gotcha. Absolutely. It's something we're very interested in.
For sure. I think there's a lot of potential there with using, I would like to have the capability of using a myriad of different communities, like, signature or identifying tokens, and be able to use those to credential certain access to stuff like Shoup. One of the things we talked about, I'll end my time on the show tonight with this, but the idea to be able basically to have like the sum total of your wallet's contents, all of the different tokens that you have, basically become cumulative, and generate like some sort of, I'll say QR code just because it's relatable. But QR code basically that, you know, you could then take and scan it anywhere that accepts the credential, and it would be able to be like, okay, yeah, their Kroger Plus token is in here. Okay, yeah, their Borders Rewards token is in here. Okay, yeah, whatever, it's in there. Just, you know, from a privacy and security point of view, we've had some interesting talks with people like Willem about how that's pretty doable even with tools that exist right now. And it would just be a matter of expertly tying a bunch of different stuff together. I think that's so cool to be able to use different tokens for different credentials in different places, but have them all work together, even on different chains in different kinds of wallets.
Yeah, 100%. Alex, before you jump off, did you have any other final thought for us? A word of wisdom or a good joke to send us into the weekend before we keep going?
No, man, I feel good. I don't want to cut Lisa off. I'll kick it over to Lisa for my last word slot. But thanks everyone who tuned in today. I, as always, appreciate all of your support for being here, and I'm just stoked that we're back on track with the show. I'm already stoked for next week.
Me too, man. It's so good to do this with you. I look forward to it, and I'll catch up to you in the chat. We'll talk in like 5 minutes.
Lisa, thanks for hanging out. I'm really sorry to leave you hanging, but I'm picking up the kid today, so I got to go get in line for the paramilitary extraction that is retrieving a child from elementary school today. So.
Good luck. Be safe. So Lisa, what were you going to say? I'm sorry we cut you.
No, that's okay. You know, I have multiple wallets on multiple chains.
Yeah, I know you do.
Even on MetaMask, they you know, you can do like a bring in all your wallet kind of thing, but they're only limiting me to like 10 or 20 or something like that. So I don't get to see all my wallets all at one time. So that would be an interesting thing to do. And I would love to be able to be like, okay, now all of my, you know, Multiverse X wallets too, but do it safely.
That's right. So that not people can't necessarily, you have multiple wallets because you want to create layers of insulation and security. And it would be great to have a way to verify the relationship between those wallets without exposing that relationship to anybody who didn't have permission to see it, i.e. anybody but you. I think that's something that I know, you know, Disco is a company that I talk about a lot who's working on that. Disco XYZ here on Twitter. Their founder, Evan McMullen, is a friend of mine, and I just love what they're doing to make not all data needs to be public on chain. Not all data needs to be immutable, but some of it does. And we should have credentials or tokens, the tools that allow us as holders to access all those different benefits in one place. God, it would be so nice. So nice. Lisa, you probably have more wallets than just about anybody I know. You have wallets that even you don't know about, I feel like. Am I right?
Well, I have wallets that I've rugged myself on, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's something to check out. Check out Disco, and definitely as we start working on it with Shoup, the kind of thing we're thinking about is, first, we want to start populating Shoup with communities that are token communities, because they'll understand how to use the platform kind of natively first. And then that'll attract, we hope, more brands who are Web3 curious. And then by that time, we hope we'll have enough brands and non-brand users to start creating tokens for all kinds of intangible things, attract some more people who see that this is really fun. And then from there, start implementing, you know, you don't want to start out with somebody's medical records, right? You want to mess around first with the hours somebody's played a video game, because that's a lot lower stakes if you screw it up. But I think that's kind of our vision, is implementing in that direction longer term.
Do we have an ETA? Is it going to be simultaneously launched with the Founders?
No, I would say
so.
I think Founders Forge is going to appear to launch first. We launched a landing page for Shoup. We're building a landing page for Founders Forge right now that your POAPs today will link to it. It might be live even now, but it also might not. So I don't know if we do that. But we will probably be more active in terms of releasing public-facing things for Founders Forge for the next couple weeks. And Shoup, the first community to be onboarded will be the Corrupted. And we hope that that'll happen sometime in the next couple of months. We really are trying to build that one. There's a bit more of a dev lift. So we want to build like an app, an interface that we can get feedback on. That'll be step one from folks in the Corrupted community. playing the game, and then a couple of other beta communities. I anticipate that'll be like a Q4 thing, that we have those partners and that we have more people outside of our immediate circle on the platform using its functionality to create tokens, to verify achievements with tokens, and then start sharing them with other people and building community around their achievements, their accomplishments, and suggesting to us the kind of things they want to see. I honestly don't think Shoup as a platform will come to what I would call fruition until like the end of 2024. I think it's a longer term build in that regard, before it looks like a Facebook or like a Twitter where it's got all these users in public who can find it and just start using it anywhere. You know, before Ford is issuing Shoups badges and tokens on our platform. But step one is to be a beta user. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so do you have the amount of Founders Forge NFTs that will be released?
No, we're actually thinking about doing an open edition, and I'll tell you why. First of all, we have a lot of assets for this collection, which is designed to complement the story about the hero in all of us. So these characters will look like all the different people who want to come to the community, all these different kids. And we hope that we can make it an expansionary thing. Like when Pokemon released, it was 150 Pokemon. And then there were 100 more. And then there were 100 more. That kind of thing. And so for our initial mint, we really are thinking about offering an open edition. And we've talked about the specific offer in terms of making an offer that is specifically for maybe Web3 collectors who are interested in things like rarity. And then also a different sort of package for somebody who's a kid, who's maybe more interested in the story, more interested in the community, who wants to create a character that looks like themselves. And so there'll probably be open editions, and then we'll release another open edition with limited time offerings. The example we've been using internally is like, did you ever play RuneScape?
No, I don't think so.
Really? Okay. That surprises me, Lisa, because you're kind of an OG.
Yeah, well, I played Pokemon. I play Pokemon Go all the time.
Okay, so RuneScape was a game, I don't remember when it was created. I wish Alex was here to tell me, but it was a sort of Web 2 game. At the end of Web 1, start of Web 2, it was an open RPG where you create a character and you could get swords and armor and outfits and do quests in the world and build your inventory. It was a massive exploratory social game. And they would do this stuff where, like, at Christmas time, they would release a limited collection of Santa hats for people who did this quest or were at this place at this time. And they became a big part of the lore of the game. When you logged on, if you saw somebody who had that Santa hat, you were like, oh, wow, you've been playing for a minute. And so we hope to do things like that too. The future founders, the characters that we're releasing will look like the dreams we hope kids might want to achieve. There might be an astronaut, there might be a ninja, there might be, somebody who is a doctor, who's like a forest worker, and some more like fantastical things. So we'll probably release an initial set of characters, and then we'll release expansionary traits and items for those characters that people can integrate into their experience of the community. But that first collection will likely be an open edition on a timed release, mint this week kind of thing.
Okay, so this is my only real pain point for this.
Tell me.
Is that I have several collections where they give me limited releases for other things, and because it's on Ethereum, it gets expensive. Is that going to be another on-chain asset, or will it be on a different chain, or will it be?
If anything, it'll be a different contract. It will almost certainly be on the same chain, unless people in our community tell us they're interested in exploring, right now on another chain. If we get a lot of users who are interested in exploring Polygon and want assets on that, ecosystem's blockchain, then we would explore doing it. Our plan right now is, for each collection, there will probably be a new contract. And in terms of what your JPEGs look like if you get a character who's got a sword and a shield, and then you buy, a magic wand later, how do you get that on your character? We're still kind of exploring stuff like that. We're talking about, for the book, making it like a you are in the book kind of experience. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those, where the old school version was you take a picture of yourself and every page has a hole in it where your face appears and you're in the book. We've talked about creating a digital sort of experience like that, where your avatar can be the character who progresses through this online reading experience. And we've talked about how to incorporate those kinds of characters in people's collections and expansions, into a more custom experience on a platform that we build. But we don't have the mechanics for that yet. I'd be lying to you if I said we did. So I'd be open to your feedback there. I know we all would love to hear more.
So I understand the concept. Like I said, I just know that claiming extra cool stuff is, quite frankly, to me, a pain point, and I don't like it because I'm constantly spending money on gas where I could have spent that money inside the project.
Well, and here's the thing too, is we really want to do everything we can to optimize that experience for people by doing things like an ERC 721A contract, which greatly reduces the amount of energy and gas expenditure. We want to do stuff, we want to explore what it's like to mint things ahead of time and maybe airdrop them to people. And of course, like I say, we're planning to do this on Ethereum, but if we get a lot of feedback from people that says, no, man, you really need to do this on Polygon, it's too expensive, I think we would be really amenable and open to that. Because we absolutely do want this to be, we don't want it to be, first of all, cost prohibitive. We don't want it to be transfer prohibitive. And I think the ultimate goal is ease of access for people who are in the community, but also the people who aren't here yet. That's why we went with Ethereum 2, is there's the most support, there's the most resources, the most tools to kind of make that accessible. But EVM compatible chains like Polygon, they could be a big solution.
No, I mean, I love ETH. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for like going forward, that's the thing that bothers me the most about doing that, is everything I'm having to spend.
Yeah, of course. Neil, you got your hand up. Did you have a thought to add to that?
The answer is airdrops. Am I right, Lisa? I don't want to claim stuff. I just want stuff to show up in my wallet after I complete something.
Yeah, but that's also kind of scary if you don't know it's coming. And 2, it still costs them to airdrop it.
Too bad.
You heard it here, folks.
And
so are they? Let me ask you a question then, Neil. Are they airdropping you Starbucks stuff, or are you having to go claim it?
It is being so. What happens is, though, I'll complete a task, a journey. There's a few steps we have to do. Buy coffee, watch a video, take a test, whatever it may be. Once you complete that, the stamp then shows up in my wallet. I am not going to a page to say, okay, task completed. Now I have access to claim this. It's task completed. Here's your stamp. So it is, I guess, it is being airdropped.
Yeah. What happens on the back end, Lisa, is you complete the interaction, which in the front end is just like any kind of website where you take a quiz or do a test or verify some information, and it says, great, here's your stamp. It shows you a picture of the stamp. And then if you want to go to the Polygon Explorer, you got to do some clicking around, but they have an interaction where the Polygon Explorer prompts the contract, or not the Explorer, but the contract is prompted by your action. They send a token, which I believe has already been minted. They've minted a finite supply of these, thousands of them. That token is claimed and sent to your wallet. It's kind of like what we did with the first TFM mint. They were, except they weren't minted in real time. They were already minted and sitting there waiting. They were just transferred to you. When you register for the Odyssey program, you also have to register for a Nifty Gateway account, which sets up a custodial wallet for you on Nifty Gateway. And that is linked to your Odyssey account. So when your Odyssey account does something, it's linked to that wallet. And they know if you've earned a stamp to send that wallet the stamp. You can go on the Blockchain Explorer, you can check it out. And Neil, is it in Nifty Gateway's marketplace where you buy and sell them, or are they on other marketplaces too?
Yeah, they're on other marketplaces.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So maybe I don't know, maybe Nifty Gateway is not in fact a custodial wallet. Maybe it's a
It is.
Is it? Right?
It is a custodial wallet. If you want to put them into your own wallet, you have that option too.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep.
Does that answer your question, Lisa? Do you think we could do something like that?
Yes. Well,
I mean,
no,
if we were going to use
but
Polygon, I think we could.
yeah, I mean, on Polygon, I could see that 100%. You know, I mean, that's my whole point is on ETH. It, like I said, it gets expensive, to do because I have some bonds I have to go get and stories I have to go get and some other stuff, and then sometimes I forget half of the time. But it's constantly gas, even if the item is free. And I mean, it's like $5 to $10. Yeah, that's great, but that's still $5 to $10 I could have been putting in the project.
Absolutely.
And again, I love Ethereum, but if the second part of my claim would have been on a different chain, I would have been much happier.
No, I hear that 100%. Neil, since I've got you back, did you happen to have any insight about, you remember what I asked earlier about AutoGPT? Did you catch my question in terms of how does it stay on the rails and within parameters that you might give it?
Yeah, who cares? It's the Wild West, Evan.
I care, Neil. I need to figure it out for myself. I got to do my homework, I guess. I have to.
Yeah, I do too. And I've watched some. I actually, it's one thing I'm actually looking for a resource for, either a person or a website or something like that. But the amount of these AI platforms that are popping up, and sign in with Google or whatever. I've yet to hear of one, but there has to be some sort of security risk of you providing them with some sort of credentials. And I haven't seen it yet though. Like PO AI. Like, I've never heard of it before, but shit, I downloaded the app and signed in, with Google, and I'm off to the races. Like, how do I know that there's nothing malicious going on in the background? And I'm curious about that.
Well, Neil, do you use a separate Neil Twitter account for Web3 and your personal life, or do you use the same?
So Twitter, it is just this account that you're staring at.
Or I'm sorry, Google. Sorry.
Yeah, so Google, I have my personal account, and then I have a Neil AI Art at gmail.com as well.
So if that would got compromised, would it be as bad for you, or
it wouldn't be bad at all? But I don't know, and maybe I'm overthinking things, but I always try to think that there has to be nefarious partners or nefarious people out there that are going to try to hijack something or other to sign up with this awesome tool that we're all salivating at the powers that it has. So.
Yeah, I don't have a good answer for it. I'm sorry to say. Except,
no, that's fine.
Just be practicing good security. I think there's a huge opportunity for, in all that we're doing for people to exploit stuff. Absolutely. It's a real and present concern, and I don't have a good answer.
So I apologize. I did have to jump off because IRL called. Thank you very much for posting my little NFT project that's will be available for sale today at 6. Thank you.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to talk about is this Twitter algorithm thing. In theory, because the code now is open sourced, you could, I'm going to try to do it this weekend, basically because replying to a reply is the 75x thing.
Yeah.
You could essentially make a reply bot and link it to your Twitter account. So when anyone ever replies to one of your posts, it would be able to read the text of what someone replied and then provide a reasonable response to that.
So there actually already is a bot that more or less automates it with ChatGPT. The name is escaping me, but it has a plugin for LinkedIn, I know, and I think it has one for Twitter. And I was on LinkedIn just scrolling, and I'll tell you how I found it. Is I was reading someone's response, and I was like, man, that sounds like ChatGPT read this post and then respond. You know how ChatGPT has that kind of, it just has a weird, it's like talking to customer service, sometimes. And I did some digging, and sure enough, it's got, you can click a button for a casual response, for a formal response, and a couple other like automated settings. I don't know that it's automated to go without your approval, but I think it drafts them, and all you got to do is click post, like as stuff comes up. So
I figured it's already out there. I just haven't found it yet. But so that's cool. But yeah, Auto GPT is it's taking things to another spot. So excited to learn about it.
We expect we respect a report when you get into it, and we'll probably have one for you too next week. Bill, I'm sorry, I just saw your hand, my brother. I hope you are not your arm's not getting tired over there.
No, I think I put it down when I took it off mute, went back on mute. But I think it was so timely for Neil to point out the security risks, because I go on to POAP as we're talking, I sign up, and it's got this line for my social security number, my home address, and I was like just about to put it in. So I appreciate you help me out there. I almost gave all that information, but you know what I did do? That's a joke.
I was like, Bill, you got me, man.
I did. I said, hey, I created a bot and said, act as a CEO of my company to create, lifelong prosperity and, do stuff that I'm passionate about. Said, hey, as your CEO, I'd like to get started on this. Let's, start with it. And in the course of you guys going back and forth the last 5 minutes, I now have what I would consider a personalized book that you would go buy at the, the bookstores that don't exist anymore. So, how to progress your career, or what to, personal coaching. So now I'm going to go, now it's kind of prompted me to, hey, when you're thinking about these ideas, consider this, this, and this. And when you're writing down your passions so that we know where to go, consider this and this. And it even had a line in it, don't limit yourself when you initially think of these ideas. Just have an open mind. It's like an actual life coach all of a sudden. Dang. And if I have it on my phone, so that instead of playing some stupid, brick breaker game while I'm waiting in line at the supermarket or whatever, I can look and just say, hey, can I enter anything here that will progress us along? Wow. I've even already had to put the reins on and said, listen, this is great. I'd like to focus on steps 1 and 2 over the next week. Like, I mean, the amount of input that it's asking for me now is like hard to keep up with already, to the point where I'm like, all right.
Yeah, Bill, one of the best prompts you can do is say, feel free to ask me questions on how I can accomplish these tasks.
Good to know.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, have you guys seen that funny guy he like created a fake ChatGPT website, and you go there and he's actually the one that's responding to you?
Oh, yes.
It was freaking hilarious.
It's not like a Saturday Night Live skit.
It looks exactly like, it's a faux site, and he gets on there and you type in your thing, and it goes, somebody asks him, do you want to write a book? I want to write a book about blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, that sounds great, but it will take me 16 to 18 months to get back to you. It's just cracked me up, man.
And I have one more note before I got to go, guys. I will say, Deborah, I apologize for all of the buzzers. I know she's not here anymore. Maybe she'll listen. She's actually the one that gave me more confidence in it, because I remember like a month ago, she was like, the guy who's doing the sounds is really funny. I was like, cool, I got kudos from it. And now she's upset. I've gone too far.
I'm here.
Uh-oh.
Jump the shark, Deborah.
And sometimes I'm sneaky.
You guys are too much. Okay, Bill, you got to go. I got to go. I think we got to go. I think we got to call it for this weekend. If anyone has a final thought, I'm not going to rug you. I would love to hear, what are you doing this weekend? Do you have a good joke? Do you have a word of wisdom? Do you have anything you want to share before we say sayonara? My friends, Deborah, do you have anything for us?
Well, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do this weekend, that's for sure, because there's too much I'm doing. And some of it's private, okay?
Yeah, sure. I get you.
Okay. But no. This is really, I like the spaces, and I don't always like spaces. I tend to leave them pretty early after I get in. If they aren't giving me information I want, or they aren't fun like this one, I'm gone. So,
I get you.
that's it. And Neil, you need to produce some more of your stuff. Really, it is wonderful. I'm going to have to find out how much your stuff is. Okay. 'Cause you might be one of the first NFTs that I buy.
Okay, it's 0.035 ETH. So,
And in dollar
what's
bills,
that?
yeah, what's that in,
What?
in dollars?
That's 1,000 something?
I think it's around $65, maybe $70 now because ETH went
Oh,
up.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Or I'm thinking of something else. Then. Okay. Not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I get my choice of it because your work with colors and shadow is incredible.
Well, I'm happy you like it, Deborah. This drop here is a little dark, certainly. But the tools that I have at my disposal allow me to have a pretty big range of topics. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the next one. I think I'm going to do something for the kids. So.
And
we'll
what
see.
about the past stuff that you posted?
Oh, that stuff is unminted. I'm actually thinking about just like randomly putting in each of my tweets, like
yes.
if you want this, I'll mint it for you.
I think you
Good.
should.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll message you or DM or I'll tweet you or something. Okay.
Please do.
Okay.
Go right ahead,
Okay.
Deborah.
Okay.
Neil,
Okay. Bye, you guys.
bye, Deborah.
Bye,
Thank you for
Evan.
being with us. It's great to hear your
You're
voice. Neil, do you have
You're
a
welcome.
final thought for us?
I always have lots of thoughts. One, be nice to each other. Some of the stuff that I saw on Twitter this past week it's just silly elementary school stuff. I'll just leave it at that. We're all trying to push the space forward. So be nice to each other on Web3 and then IRL. And yeah, that's all I have.
Fair deal. Bill, what about you? I know you got a roll.
Bill rolled out. He's gone.
Was that you sipping, Neil? Were you? I thought that was Bill getting ready to like drop a bomb. Like,
Oh no, that was me. I apologize. But Bill's
no, don't apologize.
gone.
Don't apologize. Lisa, what about you? Have you got a final thought for us from Arkansas?
Actually, I think I solved the issue that I asked you about earlier. So there are some mints that I do that we kind of like POAPs. You do it off chain and then you claim them all at once.
Yeah.
That would save a lot of gas fees, and I hopefully that gets implemented. And I do hope that you do mint with a credit card because that's another thing. So I'm just excited. I'm waiting to hear more and happy to help. And I hope everybody has a great weekend.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Am I missing anybody? That's everybody. For now, everybody in the audience, if you've got a final thought, I invite you to leave it in the chat. You can always send us a message here at Faceless Labs. You can send me a message at Evan_man. You can send Alex a message. We're all friendly people. We love to talk about Web3, especially in ways that help people understand crypto beyond currency, NFTs as a medium, people, beyond JPEGs, to help everyone out there understand why this stuff actually matters to regular folks like us, everyday people. My friend said to me, she said, don't call them regular people because it sounds condescending, but I'm talking to me too. We're everyday people. We're learning this stuff together. And to send you off, I want to give you this encouraging message inside a crypto fortune cookie. Today's crypto fortune cookie is: there's a hero inside you that cannot be beat. That's it. There's a hero inside you that cannot be beat. They never give up. They never fall in defeat. And you will hear more about that hero, about the hero inside you and me and all of us that is calling for you to rise up if you stay tuned to the future of the Founders Forge page. You see what I did there? So stay tuned to Founders Forge. We're excited to share more of that with you. Stay tuned to Faceless Labs. And please, my friends, be safe, be kind, have a good weekend. And until next time, everybody, rise up. Bye for now.